Hello ladies and gentlemen and welcome back. So as you can see, I am doing another Pathfinder Advanced Legend Guide. I know, I've already done the basic version of him covering his grapple and his zipline. But basically I wanted to do an updated version for him because obviously as the game's been out, more stuff has been discovered for him, more pro level tips, and trust me, there are some freaking key tips in this video. But basically something I also didn't mention in the previous one was how properly the survey beacon works, because a lot of people are quite confused on that. And yes, don't worry, my Bloodhound video is coming out soon. Just working on that one at the moment. But as always with my Advanced Legend Guides, if you learn anything new in this video, be sure to smash the like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and let's get straight on with this. So, the two quick things I really wanted to go over was the survey beacon and how it really works. Because when you spawn in on the map, you look at it and you can see survey beacons everywhere. Now, basically, you'll spawn a bunch of random ones in. They always have set locations, but not all of them will spawn in. You'll see them on the map like this. Now, this is where it gets confusing for people. So, essentially, when people scan a beacon and, like, they look in the map, it disappears. The survey beacon disappears off the map, and this gives people the impression that it's like a one-time use thing. And I'm telling you, it gave me that impression for like a good month or two. But as you can see, what actually happens is as soon as the circle closes, changes to the next circle, even though the survey beacon doesn't reappear on the map, it does allow you to still use it, and you can use the same survey beacon over and over again. Just be a bit careful, because once you're in that survey beacon animation, it's really slow to get out of it. Now, another little tip I always do with survey beacons is when you're counting down the circle and you're waiting for the circle to change so you can do it on the 1 second mark. When it's on 1 second before the circle changes, do it then, because as you can see, the circles like basically go one after another, and it's just that little tiny bit of time saving like technique that could stop you getting shot or allow you just to reposition a bit faster. Now, something else is landing from a high place. You can do like jump kicking tricks, but if you are Pathfinder, you can just grapple and jump as you hit the floor, and this instantly gets you into an arch travel system instead of having to get stuck in that landing animation. Now, also with Skulltown, this ribcage, everyone loves the ribcage, but they all stick on the middle level. Pathfinders can especially get on these top levels, and they are pretty defensive because you can like hide behind from opposite ends, like, you know what I mean. But these are like massively underrated. Sometimes I'll use them for fun, just like creating like train zip lines around Skulltown. But they are very advantageous, especially in like your pro level games with ranked. You need those like extra tiny few spots that you can get yourself into. And they are generally good just for scouting out the area if you're an aggressive player and you're looking for people. Now, dodging bullets on zip lines, this is key, and there's a couple little tips within this one tip. So the first thing I tend to do is a like bait drop, and then I'll grapple back up around, above, drop down, and grab it again. And then the second technique is to jump up and down or left and right, and that way like you've got at least 5 different movement techniques right there to dodge bullets. And I had like 5 pro squads all trying to freaking shoot me down there. Now, at the cage, you've got these cables, and yes, I have tried walking across them. You cannot, you go straight through them. But you can create your own zipline wires going across, because it allows you to zipline the top of these metal bar things. And the best thing about this that I love is it allows you to like go over certain choke points. So say for example, bunker just there, there's a map going on, I don't want to push into it, so I just go straight over, and I've used this shortcut so many times to land on the drain pipes, and then I'm safe, unless there's like some camper up there. Like, it's a lot safer than going through the bunker, I can tell you that for sure. Now, this is probably one of the biggest tips in the video, and it's one of those ones that is so simple, yet most of the community did not notice. You can zoom in when you've got your zipline out. Just use your normal aim trigger, and it will zoom in, it will scope in. Like, I didn't figure this out for like 2.5, 3 months after the game had come out. I just did it by accident. I was like, well, I never thought to aim in while I had a zipline out. It's not exactly a gun, but extremely useful. Like, something I use it all the time for now is when you're aiming through like trees and poles here, it's really difficult because the zipline will want to catch on things that are further forward. So what I'll do that aiming mechanism to like scope in between the things that are closer and allow me to hit the long distance thing to get a longer zipline. It's incredibly useful, but I put this as a vote up on my Twitter about who knew. 90% of the people that follow me on Twitter didn't even know that this mechanic existed. So yeah, if you didn't know about that, definitely smash like. So as you can see with this one, this is the double zipline technique, and basically if you switch between the two ziplines in the right way, it actually makes you travel like twice as fast as normally using it. Plus, as you can see, it extremely is useful for dodging bullets. Now the next one is a bit of a very unique situation. Now, this one you can extend ziplines. So as you saw just then, I was aiming at the balloon and it was coming up red saying you're too far away. So what we're going to do is we're going to climb up the poles, get a little bit closer, and as you can see, it will allow me to reach. So what I do is I drop down whilst not moving my camera. I'm still scoped in on where I was aiming at, and it basically allows you to extend this. And you can do this like cliffs and stuff to create longer ziplines. But as you can see here, I've basically created a double zipline balloon, and this is obviously going to be incredibly useful for anyone who doesn't want to get shot down using balloons. It's a bit tricky to set up, but if it's something that you do find is good for, say for instance, ranked play, and you want to use a balloon more safely, I'd definitely give it a little practice. Now, this was a bit of a clutch up, but you know when you're having a bit of fun with the game, you maybe want to do some trickery or just show off a bit, and you think, oh, I want to do one of those like around the world Pathfinder ziplines where you grapple and you go round and come back. And some people have commented on my previous Pathfinder video, they still don't know the trick to it. So basically what you want to do is just make sure you constantly look at where your zipline attaches. If you look further than 90-degree angle away from where your zipline is attached, it will deattach you. Plus, if you go past the direct point that your zipline is attached to, it will deattach then. Now, a little tip is with your ziplines, always put them higher than needed. So a lot of people will just aim the zipline straight at them, and these ziplines are quite loud. It gives you away. People know to instantly look up. So if you can, aim the ziplines higher if you're not thoroughly intending to use it to get back, just so that they can't hear you approaching and you get a more stealthy assassination. Now, Pathfinder's Bird's Nest. With this new location containment up here where I'm grappling to now, except for decent octanes with a jump pad, only Pathfinders can get up here. This is Pathfinder's Bird's Nest, and they've intended this. There's actual loot up here for you to find. There's no climbable way to get up here. There's no in-game jump pad or zipline or mechanic to get up here. They've intended this to be a Pathfinder Bird's Nest, or maybe a bit for Octane, but it's very hidden and safe for Pathfinders. Now, zipline baiting is brilliant as they come up, but dropping down and catching them is also amazing. So you bait them to drop down because they think they're playing aggressive, they think you're weak, and then you retake the high ground. And I'm going to show you this in a prime example with the grapple. So what I will do a lot of times is I'll have the high ground, and say I get pushed and they end up overwhelming me. I feel like it's about to go Pete Tong. I do a fake drop, a bait drop if you want to speak it like that. And basically I just pretend to drop down, and they'll follow, they'll drop down wanting to rush and ambush and be like, quick, chase him, he's low on health. And then I just grapple back up, and if they're any other legend but Pathfinder, they're not going to be able to get to you. And if they can, you're going to be able to heal in time. So say for example here, I'm taking on 2 different squads at the moment. Last guy I left in the squad, And yeah, things are getting pretty heated, fighting the whole squad pretty much at once. I do a fake bait drop to come back up. The race too quick and dropped straight off, but I was a bit quick for the Octane and he was still up there, but I managed to take him. And obviously, as you can see here, the Wraith has taken like a good 5+ seconds to make her way back, which allows me to take her out. And then obviously you've got the third party that wants to jump in there as well, but he can get sent back to the lobby. Now, look for special high zipline areas. There are secret it's not really a secret, but there's unique areas around the whole of the map where you can actually put zip lines up to high locations, and then you can grapple the rest of the way up to get on top of a out of bounds area or just unique areas. I think my favorite location I found recently is at airbase. Like, look at this up on these docks. I always knew you could get up here, but I only recently found out that you could zip line up to them. So yeah, it's literally as simple as putting a zip line up and then you can just jump straight up. There's no real trickery to it or anything. It's very simple to do. I kind of knew this from the beginning. As I said, just didn't know the zip line part. And the best part about these is they're low enough that if you get the right type of grapple, you can just get straight back up there again. So like here, I was a bit unsure of where this guy was, got up and managed to get an easy snipe on him. Now, I also wanted to make special note of the new gauntlet location. As I said, there's a lot of sneaky areas where you can put zip lines up in high areas of the map. But with the gauntlet towers, you can do this everywhere. So as you can see, I've got almost an entire zipline circle going on around the gauntlet. They don't quite allow you to put the zip lines all the way at the top. It's about like 3/4 of the way, but as I said before, like here, you just grapple your way back up like so. It's really useful for Pathfinders and maybe Octanes if you got a good jump. Now, how to actually do this spiderweb thing? A lot of people were asking me. So what you got to do is get to an actual close point where it will allow you to attach it normally. And then when you come to these locations, that first attachment basically acts as like an anchor point and allows you to attach other zip lines from further away. So that second zip line I couldn't put up there before, but after I put the first anchor zip line, I'm now able to put loads more from further away. But yeah, other than that, I hope you enjoyed the second addition to this Pathfinder video. Like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and I shall catch you all later. Peace.
Hi YouTube, please leave a subscribe and drop a fat like.